Today at Ches Sivan, but we'll do the shir of yesterday and today. So the beginning of Shar, Yichud, Vemunah. We'll do the whole Perek Aleph. Page 152. Yeah, okay. Lahavin me'at miz'er, mashikosa b'zoyar. To understand, it says in the Zohar, the Shema Yisrael Chulu, Yichuda Ilah, Baruch Shem Kvod Malchus Olam Vod, Yichuda Tato. Zohar HaKodesh says, Shema Yisrael, when they say every day Shema Yisrael, it's Yichuda Ilah, and Baruch Shem is Yichuda Tato. As we're going to see, as we're learning this, just an overview already now, what's the pshat Yichuda Ilah, Yichuda Tato? Obviously, there's many ways, like everything else to explain in this, but in a very, very basic, simple form, Yehuda Ilah is the perception of above as a perception of Hashem, the Yehuda Ilah, of Olam Elyonim, the way they look at things. Yehuda Tato is from our perception. From our perception, when we look at the world, we see world, and we have to study to understand that we're going to study in Shar Yichud Vemunah, how this whole world is a lakus, it's godliness, it's godly power, it's godly energy. Without him, we would not be here. But at our perception, we see world first, and that's what we really live in, that perception. Yehuda Ilah, the perception of above, of a higher, from the higher worlds, it's the other way around. The main chais is them. We are nothing. We are nobody. So, and just very, a simple moshel for it would be when you in this world you see sometimes you're going to see a huge building somewhere, you're going to see a nice construction. So imagine when you fly up, when you're flying up, you see slowly how everything looks smaller till you fly so up, look like a huge building, looks to you like a matchbox. This is a little moshel for Yehuda Ilah, Yehuda Tato. Yehuda Ilah, the way they look at things over there, that's we really nobody and nothing. We see a world, the way it looks to us, the way it appears to us, and so that's Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. I'm just giving a little bit of an overview before we're going to learn this inside. That's Hashem is Echad. There's only one God. There's nothing else is there. You see a little world, okay? It's a little toys over here that He created. And Yichud, that Shema is Hashem Echad. Baruch Shem Kadmachus Olam Vod. Yichud Tato. We do see the world the way we see it now. We have to study and see how it's everything bottled to Hashem. So that's what we're going to see now inside. Perek Aleph. Dai Tayo Vashlo Yisrael El Levavecho Ki Ava Yehu Elokim Vashamayim Ma'al Va'oretz Mitochas and Oid. We say this every day by Olenu L'Shabeach. You should know today and turn to your heart. Turn this to your heart, this knowledge. Ki Ava Yehu Elokim. Hashem, He's the Elokim. Vashamayim Ma'al in heaven and above the heaven. Va'oretz Mitochas in this earth and below the surface of the earth. And oid, there's nothing else but Hashem. Tzarich lohavin. We need to understand. Sheyesh Elokim nishre b'mayim mitachas la'aretz. Would you think you have such a havamina that there is a God that He is somewhere hiding below the earth and the water? Yeah. And you have to warn people, shouldn't think there's a God hiding over there. Because if He's a big God that created the world, yeah, He's a God, He wouldn't be hiding in the water. And if somebody, a fool would think so, let's think we're not, the Lashon of the Gemara, b'shuftane lo yaskinan, we're not dealing with fools. So why the Posuk have to go and tells you that you should know it and put on your heart? There's no other gods. No, we're not up there in Shamayim, and not even something below beneath the earth and under the water surface over there. There's a God. Well, why would you think so? It says, before we go further, the same thing what the Baal Shem Tov says, it's brought in Medrash Tehillim, But the Baal Shem Tov elaborating and explaining this idea that brought already this idea in the Medrash. And the pasuk, the words you said, Yirakia b'soich hamayim, by Sheshes Meibreishis, by Asara Mamoros. When Hashem says Yirakia b'soich hamayim, should be a heaven, a sky in the water. We're going to Tavis v'oisias elu. This words, when Hashem says Yirakia b'soich hamayim, this words, this letters, nitzovois v'oimdois l'oilam, they are standing there constantly b'soich rakia hashamayim, inside the heaven, inside the sky of the heaven. Umleboshes b'soich kol harakim l'oilam lachyosav. Obviously, we know the Gemara in Chagiga says there are 7 rakim, there are 7 heavens, 7 skies over there. But the word Yirakia b'soich hamayim, those words are in the rakia shamayim. Umleboshes b'soich kol harakim, it's included over there in all the rakim, l'oilam lachayosav. That's there forever, those words, and that's their life, that's their energy, where they have the energy to stay up all this time from Sheis Neveres Ad Hayom and function and be there. The words when Hashem says Yirakia b'soich hamayim, those words, that's their chayes, that's their energy. K'dichsiv dvar Elokeinu yokum l'oilam. The words of Hashem is going to be standing there forever. Udvar of choyim v'kayomim lo'ad. His words are not like we speak something, that's it. After we said it, the word is gone. Over here, is the words of Hashem is everlasting. Kulu. If the words of Hashem would not stay there forever, but will go back to where it came from, the words of Hashem will go back to Hashem. It would not be in the worlds continuously giving chayus. Go back to its origin. If the words of Hashem, which is this is the energy, Hashem created the world with His words. The Dvar Hashem Shamayim Naasu, everything was done with His words. Asara Mamoras, His word, with His words He created the world. If they would go back, if they wouldn't be in the Bria constantly, 24/7, if they would go back, then the world would go back also to be Ayin B'Emes. What was before Maimer Rakia? There was no Rakia, there was no heaven, there was nothing there. What's made the Rakia? Maimer Rakia. So if the words goes back, the Rakia goes back too. Yeah. Mamash. Same thing in the whole entire creation. Upper world, lower world. And even the earth where we are in over here, we're talking about the lowest level of this world is doimam, the non-movable object. If those words of Hashem that with them He created the whole entire world, including our world over here, if those words would go back, meaning they would stop functioning over here, stop giving their chayes, and will go back to its origin, and it would stop the mimer for a moment, the whole world would go back to be ayin v'efes like before the creation. Mamash. That's what the Arizal says. Shagam b'doimem mamash, even in a non-movable object, doimem. K'moy avonim v'ofor humayim. All those things, stone, earth, water, doimem. They don't breathe, they don't grow. Yesh b'chinas nefesh b'chayus ruchnius. It looks to us like a dead object. It's not. They have chayus. Obviously, their chayus is not on the level of a plant, level of an animal, level of a person. It's more minute It's less of a chayus over there, but there is a chayus over there. There is an energy over there. Yes, nefesh b'chayus ruchni, something spiritual that that holding them together to be in existence. Then the b'chinas is slapshus oisios hadibur, and what that's energy. That oisios hadibur of Hashem, that with them He created the world. Me'asora mamoros, amechayos umahavois es adoimim, which is that's what giving energy, and that's what creating constantly the domim, the non-movable object, liyos yesh me'ayin v'efes, to become an existing from nothing. Ba'asora mamoros shebatoira. That's the asora mamoros that's mentioned in Torah. So the energy of the world, the whole entire world, is the energy from asora mamoros. And if this my mamoros that Hashem said the original Sheshmei Bereshis would stop Kavyochel, the way what Al Rebbe is saying over here, that's what the Pasuk L'Olam Hashem Dvorcha Nitzav B'Shamayim. The words you create, the word that Nitzav Hashem L'Olam, constantly there's still the Maimer of a Iyar, there's still Maimer of a Iyar. All the Mamoras constantly are here in the Bria, and that's what's holding the Bria. Because if they would stop being, the Mamoras would not, for one moment, that Maimer would not like reset itself. If the mimer would not be said every moment, thing would go back to its original state, which is being nothing. The Chori could ask a question. So you're saying the chayus of the heaven, it's Yirakia. The chayus of the light is Iyar. The chayus of the doima, the non-movable object, there's no word for it. What says ye offer, ye even, doesn't say such a thing. So it says over here, even though there is, so how the avonim, how the stones are alive, because in Asara Mamoros there's no such a mimer, he even. Shem even Basara Mamoros Shabbatayra. Afal Piken, nevertheless, Nimsha Chayus Le'even, that stone that has Chayus, it receives its energy, its life, Alidet Sirufim, Vechilufe Oisios Amizgalos Berala Shorim Ponim Ve'ocher. Meaning there are some, after the shir we have some questions, there are some Ma'amoros, the direct mimer, Yirakia, Iyar, the direct mimer, talk about the big creations. But there is a lot of some small creations, which is, there's no direct mimer, but they are alive because they receiving their chayus also from the mimer, but it's have to go to certain changes of, for example, there is in systems of, in the Torah, it's called Rala Shorim, 231 ways of changing the words. For example, one system, very simple, everybody knows, it's Oisias Adbash. You change Aleph, which is the first letter of the alphabet, with the last letter, Tov, At. The second one, Base, with Shin, Adbash, and so on and so forth. That's just one system. There's 231 different ways of how the letters could change, and one word could mean something else if you change it, Boisias Adbash. And there's other systems over there, Gematria, Tzirufim, some email said, there is something in Basora Ma'amoros that eventually you could convert those words into Evan. Again, it's not a direct mimer, it says Ye Evan, there's no such a mimer Ye Evan, but some other Ma'amoros could change and become becomes the word Evan, and that mimer that could be changed to Evan, this is the chayus of the Avonim. That's the chayus of the Doima. Aber wir nimmt sich heiß Evan, der zurück von Bekhulu für euch, es am Galas Barala Shorim, Ponim Vocher. Was kostet besever Yitzir, it's brought so Achim Shtalshel, Me'asora Ma'amoros. So that chayus also Mishtalshel, it comes down from original Asora Ma'amoros. V'nimshach mehem, come down at Siruf Shem Evan. So there is in Asora Ma'amoros, it's koilel all the names of whatever in the creation. Even you might have today a new name that wasn't before. You have a name cell phone, you have a name computer, you have a name, all of those names somehow get their chayus from Asora Ma'amoros, and that's what's keeping them alive and energized. Who chayusoi shel Evan, and this is the chayus of the Evan. So it comes out if you see a stone, it doesn't look to you like it says neshama. Arizal says it has a neshama, because without that neshama, that stone would stop from being. It would become nothing. You wouldn't see it. It wouldn't be here. And what's keeping the stone alive? It should be in existence. That an energy from Asura Ma'amoras that changed eventually from one of the Asura Ma'amoras and became the name Evan. And same thing with all the creations of the world. Hashem, B'Lashon HaKodesh, wherever we have a name for it. In Lashon HaKodesh, and Oisias Hadibur, Amishtal Shlosim Madrega Masora Ma'amoras Shabatoyrom. Every name come originally from Asura Ma'amoras through Seder Ishtalshalus and interchanging in one of those system till it comes to that new name that creation has. Madrega Masora Ma'amoras Shabatoyrom. Adei Chilufim B'Tmuros Oisias Barala Shorim Adshem Magiois. Till that name goes all the way and reaches that creation and gives him chayus. Sometimes some creation cannot receive its life energy directly from Asura Mamoros. Some the mimer Iyar, it was such a powerful mimer, it gives energy to the sun, to the moon. That's a big creation. If the same mimer Iyar would give an energy to a little creation, that little would not be compatible to receive such a big energy, such a big life. That's why there's a big Asura Mamoros for the big creation, Yirakia, Iyar, Tacha Ha'oretz, it's for a big creation. Then there is smaller creation, sub-creation that they come from the Beseder Ishtalshalus, from the Asura Mamoros. Shachais and Jermaine Atzman, Godel Moed Mebchinas Anivroim Protein, and Kach Boim Lekabel Achayus. Elo Alideh, Sheyered Achayus, and Ishtalshel, Imadrego, Lamadrego, Kusumemena. You can put a big battery from a big truck into your watch. It's different battery. It's not compatible to your little watch. So you need to come up with a smaller energy, a smaller light life to your little watch. Something a big Mamoros. And so the Hashem created the world with them. The small creations would not be able to receive directly from there. So they need. So there comes the Seder Ishtalshalus, interchanging of the words, and that's interchanging small to make the energy smaller and smaller till it gives chayus to the smaller creation. Ela desha the chayus mishtalsh madrega lemadrega b'chusum memena adei chilufim b'tmuros oisios v'gematrios. I said it, interchanging adbar. Then you have gematrios. Shen cheshbon oisios at sheyuchal lisamtzam ulislabesh till it's going to be able to contract the chayus itself and to be included, till we'll be able to create from that energy a specific creation. And the name that they give to the person in Lashon HaKodesh, that's his name, and that's what giving him energy and life to exist. And the name it's come from Asura Shabatoyra. Those oisios of the creation, they have a big power in them. Obviously, that power they receive from Hashem, and that gives them the koyach, the power, and the energy to livro yesh me'ayin, to create, not only to give them energy to sustain them, but to create them, to bring them out from yesh me'ayin, something from nothing, and keep it alive forever. Now, so it comes out of this, any word in Torah, that the Torah has a big koyach to give energy, life to the world. We're just coming from Matan Torah now. And the reason the Torah is that koyach, because the Torah is connected to Hashem. So Hashem He's the origin of all life, and so all the life of the world is coming from Hashem. So without Hashem would be no existence to this world. So then, like I said, later on, he's going to explain that that's what Hashem Echad. It's only one God over here. There's nothing else, because without God, nothing would be here. Okay, Rabbi Simon, Hashem will see you tomorrow night.